Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman featuring Bones. Catch us on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Facebook, Stream, and everywhere else you catch your podcasts. And of course, WLFE-DB.com. Now, from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, right beside the Bayou Bartholomew, the longest bayou on the planet, broadcasting from downtown metropolitan Cane Creek Township, here is your host, Len Dorman.
All right, let's get things started tonight. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody watching on Facebook Live, on WLFEDB.com Live, listening on my YouTube channel Live, and hello to everybody who might watch it on delay, either later on in Facebook, YouTube, or if you're watching on Spotify in the future, if you're watching a week, a month, a year from now on Spotify or any of the other podcast networks that we're on, can you send me an email regarding lottery numbers? You've heard a lot of lottery numbers out there for the last time, however time you've watched this show from now. So send me a few of them because I'd love to upgrade stuff. And with that, we're going to move on with Russ and Chris. Waiting for Chris to come back. I said no cocaine, and Chris disappears. So I guess he's mad. Or he went to go get some cocaine.
Like, I don't know how far away from me he is.
Okay, guys. We are live now.
There he is. What's going on, Chris?
Yes.
He's a ghost.
The man, the legend, Chris.
What's going on, everyone?
He's ghosting us. What's up, Chris?
I got horrible internet here, and I don't know why my phone's not putting sound out. So
It happens, man. It's the world we live in with technology, unfortunately.
Yeah, everybody's on their phone, and I'm on a desktop. I guess I'm old-fashioned.
No, I'm on my desktop too. I have my phone as a backup.
Okay.
Yeah, I've dealt with laptop issues, desktop issues, but I'm actually on my studio computer right now, so I'm sitting here in the studio. Fairly reliable scenario here, but it has failed me in the past.
Well, I have had some weird things happen on shows. I've had psychics on here, and suddenly nothing worked.
No kidding. Well, Len, my first question to you would be, are you carrying anything around that's haunting you? I mean, because,
not that I know of.
I was just curious. I mean, if you delve into that or you're around it, I mean, something attached to you or something like that, you always hear about it. And that's a serious question. I mean, if I do
have a story. I did have something attached to me several years ago. I was,
what was
y'all ever been to Chicago? Y'all ever been, I don't remember what her name was. Have y'all ever knew much about Chicago's paranormal area?
I do not. And I've only been to Chicago one time. That needs to be remedied. So
there is a pub on the south side of town, just off Archer, that is a great restaurant now. Like I said, it's a pub, so it's kind of like a British restaurant. Yeah, the food is great. It's a local hangout on Friday and Saturday nights. But it's a former brothel that was owned by Bottles Capone, Al's brother. And, of course, it was a brothel upstairs and a speakeasy downstairs. It actually had a tunnel dug from the basement to a local cemetery. Chris, you just appeared again.
I've been kind of looking at you. You're what? He's got two going.
all right, I got it working on the phone, so we should be better now.
There you go.
All right.
Much better, dude. Yeah, much better.
Anyway, what they did, they built a false tomb in the cemetery. And what they did during Prohibition, they put liquor in the back of a hearse The hearse will go to the cemetery, back up to the false tomb that was locked from the inside, unload the liquor out of the hearse using hand trucks, and go to the back of the pub, the speakeasy. That's how they snuck the liquor inside.
Okay.
To answer your question, I was upstairs. I'm one of the very few people that's actually investigated upstairs in the brothel area, and I was in a room between a bedroom and a bathroom, and all the bedrooms were different hookers' rooms, and there were some shooting lights I could actually see with my infrared camera in there. One of them shot into my hand, and I had an attachment from then on, at least for them about 6 months. It was that table that my hand was on was where they would have abortions for the hookers that got pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And one particular hooker died during the abortion. She bled out. And she was the one that got an attachment on me. And about 2 or 3 nights for about almost 6 months, I would get woken up about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I sleep in the buff, by the way. A hooker
This story's getting interesting.
riding me like a rented mule.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
That is,
So that was an interesting attachment.
yes, it sounds like it was. So when I asked her name, it kind of came back around, but you got her name.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember her name, but she was a hooker from the 20s
right on.
during Prohibition.
Which hand was it?
Which hand?
Which hand was it? You said it attached to your hand. You had the infrared.
It flew into my non-camera hand, so it was the left hand.
Okay, left hand. All right, got you.
I thought you were asking which hand was riding me.
That's what I was asking you.
Oh,
What?
man.
Well, it's a good thing I got the adult setting set on my YouTube channel. Now, to answer your question about 15, 20 minutes ago, we not only go as long as the two of y'all would like. I would like to get an hour show. That's
Okay.
all I ask.
All right.
Anything over that is on y'all. But there's not a show after mine. WLFE has a show before, not after. So I have done 6-hour shows before.
Oh my God, no!
Thank-
I'll have
what-
to dig deep for an hour, Lynn. You know, but I mean, I'm good for rambling. 100%.
I actually had one guest on for right at 8 hours. It was 7 hours and 50 minutes.
So when you were talking about cocaine earlier, and backstage, it's like what the? Are you got some of that around you or something? 8 hours. I mean, that's a
I was drinking a lot of sweet tea.
Oh no shit! How many guests? Just
one.
Just one.
I had a female guest from California, so it wasn't so late for her.
Right.
I was an 8 o'clock start for her, so she was ready to go to 3 o'clock in the morning.
And very, very, very well versed on paranormal activities and such.
Yes, she has several other interests. One of them being the paranormal.
Yeah.
She's a long distance swimmer, and she actually makes things for sale. So we were kind of talking a little bit about everything.
Right on. Well, and I hope if we're going out, I hope that's what we can do too, is chat about a little bit of everything. And like I said, I've had some strange experiences, you know, and probably the first being that when I grew up or growing up, that my grandpa, I never really knew about cremation or anything like that. And then whenever we brought my grandpa back from Florida in an urn and he sat on the fireplace mantle, you can imagine what a young kid would cook up in his mind from that. And just the weird things that would happen that were, you know, maybe coincidental or whatever, but you tie it to that, to my grandpa being there, who I never met, but seemed who I felt like I knew and inherited some of his things. He used to do model trains, and was very into it with the big, you know, he'd have a massive system and have a roundabout where he could switch it and send trains to different deals. And I inherited a lot of that. And not 10 foot from me, just outside these studio doors, is my train set.
Wow.
So it's just one of those deals that kind of infected me. And then I built my own, and it's just weird. And I never met him, but kind of a cool deal.
Were you a fan of the old show on Fox, Married with Children?
Of course.
Who wasn't?
Did you see the one where they dealt with the neighbor's relative, ashes?
I don't know that I could say that I remembered it. I would almost guarantee I saw it, but whether I've committed it to memory, no.
I think it was Memorial Day, the start of the summer, and they were having the first cookout. And normally he saved his ashes from the year before, so his burgers tasted good.
Yeah.
But his wife had poured them out. So they're desperately looking for ashes, and they break into the neighbor's house where they're not home. And they found the ashes sitting on the mantle. So they go in there and pour the ashes out of the urn and are eating the hamburgers cooked on the grill over these ashes. When the neighbors came over and realized that they said, somebody stole our relative's ashes. And they realized that they cooked all the burgers over the ashes of a dead person.
I'm going to 100% find that episode, though. That's hilarious.
The whole episode is indeed that, just hilarious.
100% Married with Children, for sure. I love it. Love it. Well, speaking of Married with Children, she's dealing with a lot of health issues. Holy cow.
Yes.
Man.
You're talking about Christina, what's her name?
Christina Applegate.
Applegate, yeah. Yeah, I've heard she's got problems.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think she's still fighting the good fight, but she's above ground. So that's all, I guess, all that matters. Where are you at, Chris? You're walking around. First, you were outside this building. What building is it?
So
there's the building again.
Yeah, my apartment building is an old mental hospital.
I was wondering if this was, because it looked like it could be a little bit creepy or scary.
Yeah, it was an old mental hospital, and then before that, it was a resort, and Capone always used to come here.
No shit, that's cool.
Where are you? I mean, what town?
He's actually in the mental hospital. He's just covering. He's like, he's
my cover up. But no, I'm in Ottawa, Illinois.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Do you know Wes Jones? He is he goes up and stays. I think he stays at Edinburgh frequently. Is it Edinburgh? Is that how you say that? Edinburgh? Yep. Okay. Yeah, he goes up there frequently and stays. But he's big into paranormal, and he's up your way. I think I don't know if he's just in Des Moines or outside of Des Moines area, but in between. But he's I think he's coming up that night. So,
yeah, he is. I've talked to him on Facebook and stuff, but I've never actually met him.
He's big into it, man. Big into it, and very, very cool dude. Like him.
Well, one thing I want to cover tonight is what y'all have coming up.
Us? We as far as Etch and Embers, we are getting ready. We are headed to the studio maybe as early as less than a month away, or just about a month away. We just talked about today in the demo process of getting the next releases ready. So album dropped in December. We released Happy Song as a single. We were looking at possibly doing another single or so off of the album, which we had released singles off the album prior anyway, because it was a long process. Band formed in 2020, hit the studio, COVID, all that bullshit pushed us back. So we finally dropped in December of 23. But so now the thought is we're excited to work on new stuff. So even though we've got some songs that came off the album that we think maybe deserve radio play, that we're just going to go ahead and push forward. So we expect to maybe be in Nashville July 25th for the first session of that, and then maybe a session every month till the end of the year, and then see an EP to maybe a full length resulting from that. As far as shows, we're with Adelita's Way in Springfield, Missouri next Wednesday, the 3rd. And then we're in Iowa. I want to say Davenport with Alborn at Gypsy Highway. I think it's Davenport on the 13th. Then back down to Arkansas for the Dover show, Brookstock, events at the Metal Fest there. That's July 20th. And then we are down in Ocean Springs, Mississippi for Dirty 30 Fest on August 3rd. And then a little bit of a break. I think we have maybe one more show in August, but we're going to probably just kind of focus on demoing and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff happening. A lot of cool stuff happening. And
I got the banner here for August 9th, 2024 in Edinburgh Manor.
Oh, you just popped up the Southern Fried Paranormal is what I see. Oh, you got it. Maybe I can't see it. I'm seeing Shadow Seekers Paranormal there. Is it there? It is Paranormal Rock on the right. I'm blind, guys. It's there on the right side. Okay.
So that's the investigation part. It's actually a 2-night event.
Yep.
So August 8th, the night before this, the guys in Etched Numbers, Airborne, and Non Grata are putting on a free concert at Otis Tailgaters in Des Moines, however you say it. It is a free show, but we're going to ask for donations at the door, and all those donations are going to go to Cancer Sucks.
That's awesome.
Wow. That is so cool. Appreciate y'all guys doing that.
Yeah, we need to encourage that 100%. So need to get with you, Chris, on pushing that a little bit too as we lead up to the show.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, tickets ain't selling for the investigation. So,
well, it's that's I think we're a little ways out. Those things will come up a little bit more. We'll do some advertisements, some localized stuff, some video shout outs for that too. And we'll chat with Alborn too as well on the 13th about some maybe things we can do together too to promote it. So
that would help because the guys in Airborne haven't even announced it yet. They haven't promoted anything with it. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, they're good guys and they're good friends of ours, and we'll definitely get them going on. They've got some huge shows coming up. They just got all the remains, I think, that they're doing. So yeah, they it's a tough thing in a band when you have a bunch of stuff to talk about. It's a strategy to kind of you want to announce and then you want to just kind of give little tidbits of it and then get a push. I normally I like to do a 3-week push out before the shows and do a good money spend on budgets and everything that we do. And same thing with the Paranormal Rockdown. We'll be putting money behind that to promote that with some hopefully some new content by that time too, Chris. Because if we get in the studio in July, we'll have some teasers out pretty quick. So
awesome.
Cool. Send me either a banner or short video, MP4. You can send it to me through Messenger, and I'll play it during the show. In fact, during halftime in about 30 minutes, you'll see some of the stuff I've already gotten.
Cool.
I'll be playing, promoting stuff. Be happy to do it for you.
Right.
No charge. You don't have to come up with money for it. Just send me stuff.
I already got one. I went up to Rock Island on Father's Day, and the guys in We Are Paranormal, and then I had Aaron Thomas. We all did a video for it, so it's on my Facebook, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, just send it to me. As long as it's MP4.
Okay.
Some of the other formats, StreamYard doesn't appreciate at all. To put it mildly, won't even look at it.
Yeah.
But MP4 is perfect.
Right on. Well, I personally am excited about the my wife's coming up, about the paranormal experience. And it's something we've never done. And I've had some experiences in the past that were very, shaking as far as what you can put together in your mind as far as a connection of events. We talked a little bit in the backstage area about being down at Eureka Springs at the Crescent Manor and the hotel there. And I tell you, I was ready to get out of there, and the things that were going on overnight and in the hallways or the stairwells especially freaked me out, but spooky shit. So Chris, if anything like that, I mean, Len, have you ever been to Edinburgh Manor at all? I mean, is that something you've experienced?
Nope. I've never been to Edinburgh Manor. I've never been to Crescent Hotel. So you're talking about places I've never been. That's why I was just sitting back and listening to you talk, because I know nothing about those.
The manor when I was down at when I was down at Crescent Hotel, like I said, I was doing construction work there. I was refinishing bathtubs, and we were there for a good long period of time. It was at the time that they were doing banding of the exterior of the building for structural reasons, because it was starting to kind of fall out So they had abandoned the building. We're actually adding on to the top of it. Recent pictures, you can't tell of any of that work that was done at that time. So I'm shocked, but we worked long hours in there. And, I mean, if there were cameras on me with how I acted in some of the things that I saw or heard, and we're just talking movements of end tables, doors that were moving and nothing around, and obviously noises, things like that. But I swear to you, every single night I slept with the lights on.
Wow.
It freaked me out. And maybe it was in my head. But I had read so much leading up to that and had built up such a like a anxiety about what I might come across. But at the time that I was there, there were absolutely, I'd read about some of the history and stuff. And this is back a little bit before. I mean, this is 24 years ago, 25 years ago, 26 years ago, something like that. We didn't have internet to look at some of the stuff. So I was reading local lore, stuff like that I could find about it. But there were 100% rooms closed off that you couldn't go into. We were told to stay out because we had keys to every room in the place. As we were going through, we would close the doors and as we went in and out of them. But the craziest thing that happened to me there, and it wouldn't even happen to me, but I had a high school friend that was a year younger than me, that I got the call while I was there after having a weird experience that he had been electrocuted by he worked for Cable America up in St. Roberts. And he had grabbed the wrong line and died, electrocuted him. And
Wow.
so I'm there, and after that, I just wanted to get the hell out of there. It was insane. But yeah, it was an experience. And my coworker, who's no longer with me currently, because I still do the same type of work, but he struggled with it too, and we stayed in different rooms, but he would never really share with me what he experienced. But he 100% acted like he was shook and very thankful to be done with that particular job site. It was crazy. So I think we were there 6 weeks, and you can just imagine every night. Well, and only during the week, we went home on weekends, but every night being terrified to sleep because you just had in your head that of things that happened there. I mean, Crescent's got a lot of history, and I couldn't even tell you, 100% accurately what that history was, but there's a lot of history there, and there were areas outside even that seemed like they could be haunted as fuck. Little cemetery areas, it was crazy. So you should go, Len. I highly recommend it, and it's a nice place to stay. It's old. It's 12-foot ceilings. It's just grand. It's a very grand building, so it's very cool.
But that's on my bucket list. The wife and I are going to go up there, spend probably 2 or 3 nights there. She'll sleep soundly in bed, and I'll be walking around the hotel in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best time. The stairwells, I think a lot has changed, I'm sure, since I've been there, because the interior of like the lobby area, just judging from news, because I just seen a news story about Crescent probably 2 weeks ago where they had, and maybe it was file footage, but the area interior in the lobby all looked just like the day that I was there 20 some odd years ago. Can't say they were doing a renovation of the rooms, which is what we were part of too, but they were doing it in a tasteful manner where it still retained that feel from the era and that it was built in. So
that's a strange place, where that doctor was basically conning people.
At Crescent.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, stories today of we so they get twisted into all kinds of different stuff. But I mean, it's like I said, back then we got a very, very sterile version of the stuff that had happened. I'm sure it's much more salacious what's out there now, or what may be the truths that they've uncovered, or what's been put out there. But I don't know how many different things was that place. I don't know.
It was a doctor had it for, I think it was a hotel. Then a doctor took it over for a cancer hospital.
Yep.
Because he was selling a cancer cure.
Cure-all, yeah.
That was basically, he was a snake oil salesman. I forgot the chat, but that he was just conning people. He didn't have cancer. I mean,
Was it sometime, you know, and I can't remember when it was built, when it actually was originally built. I should have done a little bit of research if I was going to chat about it, but
it's about 100 years ago, I think.
yeah, at
About
least
100 years old now.
because I know some of the bathtubs we were in there were from the early 1900s as far as the date stamps and stuff on them. So
I guess Wes is going to look at that episode now of Married with Children.
okay, I can't remember how close he was to Des Moines, so but he's not far from Ottawa. So now, Chris, you said Otis Tailgaters. That's in Des Moines. I couldn't remember where it was at.
Correct. Yep.
That is Des Moines. You're frozen. Your video's frozen. He's probably smoking a joint you don't want to see.
Doing some cocaine.
Oh. Did you guys see any of the jokes that are the we've had a hater out there, and you know, I mean, I'm not one to hide any kind of stuff. It's like it's all funny to me, but we had a guy that was disgruntled, that was I don't know, former fan, a former family of a band member. I'm not sure. We'll leave that up to people, but he had been sending
Good night,
around.
Wes.
Oh, you got see you, Wes, Iowa City area.
Later, Wes.
Reckon us, Chris. You should know that. but he goes, what do you get when you take a transvestite, a 60-year-old man, and a pile of cocaine? And he goes, etched in embers. And we're like, that's only 3 people for one. We're a 4-man band, and we're trying to figure out who everybody is. And I'm like, I got to be the 60-year-old man because the other guys are in their 20s and 30s. So I'm like, who's the pile of cocaine and who is the transvestite? So, but we shared it on our page because it's like, okay, anybody that knows us knows who we are. But he's a disgruntled a person, and wanted to make some internet fanfare, I guess, or stir things up. So
I sent you that message. I told you that's how I'm going to announce you guys on stage when you come out.
That's exactly right. You're right, Chris. I remember that, and we have no problem with that. We might get some shirts with that on it because, you know, we I don't know. People, it's hilarious to me what people come up with, and we don't get bothered by it a bit. It's just part of it. So don't be surprised.
Hey, that's we have to roll life.
You know what? That's right. That's what everybody else goes. Sounds like a damn good time, or it's, you know, where's the party? It's like, well, we don't know. We don't know where the party's at. And if we had that much cocaine, yes, this not 60-year-old man would probably die. So I'm not 60. This is here you go. Here's my cocaine, guys. It's like it's juice on it. Yeah, there's some juice in there, some coconut water. I hate coconut, but I'll drink coconut water. As long as the sky's just water, coconut can get in my body.
We get the same in the paranormal stuff too. People talking crap and everything. So,
oh, I bet, man. You know, why do people got to be that way? It's you know, to negate others and their successes and their passions and things like that is ridiculous. You know, I seen the thing the other day. This is what on Facebook. It said, okay, people get upset when their live stream only has 5 or 10 people watching. If you were hanging out with 5 or 10 people in your living room or outside your house barbecuing, you'd be having a grand old fucking time.
Exactly.
You know, it's like we're in this world where we think we need all this attention, and really we don't. The people that matter are right next to us. And I say that in a sense that it's true, but people out there in the world, I feel like, you know, our fans, they're right next to us too. They don't have to be, you know, so I don't mean to take anything from that, but we have family and friends that are close to us too. And we want. And I don't know, it's a society that it's tough to live in without saying something about it. And as an artist, you just got to keep your mouth shut and watch it all. So,
yeah, with the paranormal, it's just all the YouTubers online faking everything, faking evidence, and making money off of it, and it affects the people who do the real work.
Right, dude. How easy is it to fucking fake shit right now? It's unreal. I don't know how the normal person can discern from it anymore. We've become, and I think that all of these companies are. It's like I tried to search something earlier today, and I've heard a lot of people bitch about it, but I never had the experience until today. I was trying to search something on the search bar on Facebook. I don't want to talk to Meta AI, but it's like I can't get anywhere other than Meta AI is trying to tell me where I want to go.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to fucking find somebody, man. I'm not trying to find out. I can't remember what I was searching. And it was infuriating because I'm thinking for myself, I'm looking for somebody, and it's telling me all this other shit. It's infuriating. It's too difficult to, and on the whole other front of AI or these things, we're talking about, faking things, art, music, all those things. I understand embracing it, but also it's taking away from some of the people's ability to, or not ability, but the artistic creativity, the feeling of all those things. But then again, on the other side, I've seen some really cool things created with that too. So I'm on the fence. I'm torn. I don't know where to come down on that. But as far as faking things like what you're talking about, what the fuck? Just for the buck. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Like I'll throw it out there. So we've been to Edinburgh 3 times prior, before Paranormal Rockdown. We went there after Ghost Adventures went there, and in their one episode they have a plate fly across the room. Well, when we went there in the kitchen, they have all these broken dishes. We found the plate and it had fishing line attached to it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Yep.
I believe it.
Well, when Ghost Adventures did their show at Bachelor's Grove, we actually found the week after they were there, we went looking around, and there was they had, of course, when you're going through grass, you're going to leave a trail, and all you got to do is know how to leave a trail. We found a trail where somebody had been walking in the woods, and that's that light they were following during the show.
Yep.
It's just somebody walking in the woods with a flashlight.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. And just like you're talking about, Chris, the TV show, what won't they do for TV? It's like we're being deceived every day for TV, for politics. It's like, holy shit, we've got this forest to search through of all this misinformation and everything to find the truth or what's real underneath these different topics that we discuss. I'm shocked, and I don't know if there's the paranormal and UFO community. How do you guys get along? Is that a thing or is it the same? I mean, it's not the same.
It's not the same. You investigate differently, but I get along with UFO people. Well, Dave Scott's the big UFO guy, and he and I get along just fine.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because a lot has been lifted on the veil of that, and it's like, are some people paying attention, or other people they don't care? I mean, I'm in the mind that, or in the frame of mind, or thinking that there's no way we're the only people here. There is absolutely life out there, 100%. Just like I feel that there's paranormal experiences in my life that I can't explain away or make sense of, other than being something that is hard for some people or even myself at times to believe. And it's like I seen a thing of an image with how many people have seen this image. It was a dark image, and it was going around Facebook a while back, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's a shadowy figure. It's dark. But it always looks the same for people. I can't remember what they called it. I swear to God, on a month or two ago on my back porch, I walked out. My dog was barking. And of course, we have deer here. And it's always something, you can see them. The moonlight's always bright here. But that figure that was going around Facebook, it's like 2 weeks prior to that thing was standing on the corner of my property. And I'm literally hunched down looking over the edge of my banister because I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it comes out of the woods and stands there. I cannot explain what my eyes saw. I'm thinking, is it a deer? There's no way it could be a deer. The dog was barking for one. The deer will typically run immediately. And this thing stood there and stared me down until I backed myself into my doorway and closed the door, shut off the porch light. This was the porch light on, and then walked back out there in the dark to see if I could see it. And sure enough, there was enough of it there that I could make out the exact same image of what was there prior. So it's like, how the fuck do I explain that? I don't know.
You can't.
No, you can't. And I don't know any reason why it would be there, or if it was just something I had manifested in my mind, or the shadows were just right. It was a moonlit night. It was just strange, and it was right in an area where I know what was there physically to create shadows, because there's a burn barrel on that side, and the light was coming from the other direction, so it wasn't a shadow, but it was that figure exactly like I saw it on Facebook. And all these people were saying, "How many people have seen this?" And there were thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. Like, wow, okay. And then I'm thinking, God damn, has Facebook gotten that good? It's on my back. It's in my fucking backyard. They're trying to freak us out. See, I told you, Len, I can ramble my ass off. Chris probably like, this guy's talking forever. I have to admit, I did go to the Mexican restaurant before here and had a couple of Dos Equis. So,
well,
you're all good, man.
And some Mexican food to make you create some stuff and see some stuff.
It very well might. But anybody that knows me knows that I have a problem with Mexican cuisine. And as we've gotten older, the kids are kind of gone on their own, or they're working or cooking dinner for themselves or whatever. Yeah, we see Mexican joints 3, 4, 5 times a week. It's sad. It's sad. They need to have a help center for us. But yeah, it's a thing. When this band was formed, though, I will say Etched in Embers, the first meeting we had was at a Mexican restaurant, so it seems fitting. And then every meeting from then on was typically at a Mexican restaurant as well. So works for me.
So where did the name Etched in Embers come from?
You know what? It honestly, if I had a close, hey David, what's going on, man? Hey, this is David, man. He's an awesome friend. Just caught him we were bowling in Lebanon last week, and David come out on I think it was Saturday night, and joined us for a little bit just to hang out. Oh, see, there you go. He's talking USO stuff. So, but Etched in Embers came from a sheet of paper that had about 150 band names on it that I had written down previously. And we were thumbing through those, and I was jotting some new ones down. We come across that one, and Etched in Embers was mentioned, and I was like, that's it. And I will say there is another Etched in Embers out there, but it's not a band. It is an artist, and she does a pyrography, and she travels around and does the Oddities and Curiosities expos. So if you check her out, Etched in Embers, or you happen upon her page because you know it comes up when you search us, check her out and give her a like. She was extremely upset at us at first, but I think we've both grown from each other's existence. That's a funny story because the original drummer of this band, not the original drummer, the second drummer, because Tyler, the guitar player, was the original drummer of Etched in Embers. And we moved him guitar and got Tony McKee on drums at the time in 2020 when we formed. He, oh shit, where was I going with that? Oh, he messaged her. We come out of the studio one night. I think we had recorded Crown. And so we're sitting around at a restaurant, and he decides he's going to ask her if she'll just change her business name just on Facebook. He messages her, and he doesn't say anything to us. He's looking down his phone. He's messaging her. And he's like, would you mind, changing, your business name from Etched in Embers or whatever? And she did not like that. So that was a bad move on Tony's part. So it was a bad deal for a minute, but then we started getting each other's PayPal fucking payments. So then we had to work it out there. So I'm like, immediately when I get one of hers, I'd refund it or whatever. And so it's good. It's all good. And I'm actually going to try to get her to do a shirt design for us at some point. I've been hesitant because I'm scared to talk to her, but I think if we can get her to do a shirt design, because she does some really cool dark stuff and a lot of Halloween type theme stuff. I shouldn't say that because it exists all year long, but it's just really cool stuff. So check her out too, Etched in Embers. She's got the Etched in Embers on Facebook. That's why we went with Etched in Embers music. So we tried to do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we have the etchedinembers.net. We don't know who owns the etchedinembers.com. Somebody owns it, but we can't figure out who. So we're not going to try to buy it. But
yeah, I was going to say you could probably buy it, but they might be asking a very shiny nickel for it.
Well, and hopefully we've helped the value of that. I thought she owned it, and we want to try to work something out, but turns out she doesn't own it. So somebody owns it. Somebody thought the name was cool at some point and bought it. But it could have been one of the mass buys where they just buy all kinds of fucking names. I don't know.
Right.
But there's a place you can see, I think, the value of websites. I have not checked that out recently, but that'd be interesting to see.
One thing I wanted to say to David here, if he likes to talk UFO stuff, check out Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. He comes on 11 o'clock Central Time, so he'll be actually on the air in about 89 minutes. Oh no, looking at this clock, about 5 or 6 minutes. He is an experiencer. He talks a lot of UFO stuff. He has some Bigfoot people on his show. Once in a while, he'll have a ghost guy, and I'll watch his show. He calls me the ghost guy because I only appear on his show in the chat room when it's got a ghost person on there. I know nothing about the UFO community. I've never had an experience, so I just don't talk about it because I've got nothing to talk about.
Right.
But if David likes the UFO stuff, you said Space Radio. David is Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott.
Space Out Radio.
Yes.
Well,
he's had a couple good shows on the last couple days. Yesterday he had the Haunted Hill House on there, and the day before he was I don't remember the guy's name, but about Sasquatches.
Oh, right on that Dave Scott show on the Space
Correct.
Radio. Right on, man. I 100%, 100 motherfucking percent had a UFO experience, and I don't want to talk on a paranormal show if it's not welcome. But I was a kid. I was watching MASH, and we had a bay window, and the massive field out across from the home with cows. It kind of rolled down there. Something come into that field, landed in the middle of that field, and took off. And there were marks in that field. And right off I-44, there were hundreds and hundreds of calls into the
Wow.
police. It was 100% for sure. I was blown away. I wasn't a kid. I was probably 10, something like that. But yeah, it was nothing I could ever explain in my life. Came down, landed, and was up and gone in a split second. Like, what in the hell was that? And there were circle marks in the field. I'm like, wow, that just happened. But that was unreal. And we had CB radio in the house, so you could hear it. Right after that happened, you could hear the CB radio, just people going on and on and on about it. It was super cool, scary. We didn't really know, but the next morning when you could see out there that there was in that field the marks from that, it was like, wow, that was real. I don't know how that many people could see something and it not be real. But
that's one thing I can't say I've experienced was a UFO yet.
I'm with Chris. I've not ever seen anything in night in the sky that I could not explain.
I think drones right now make it almost impossible to tell the difference whether we see something now. Back then, if that technology was out there and we were seeing stuff like that, 100% alien, because we didn't have that. Not at least we didn't. Maybe the military had it. Drones to us are new. I mean, when I see those fucking shows they do, the 4th of July shows with drones and the stuff that they put out there,
those are amazing. They can do anything with that.
I can't believe anything I see in the sky anymore. And
No.
to be anything other than a drone. It's ruined it for me because the technology is that good. It's incredible.
Have you seen these people that will hang a Halloween decoration, some kind of ghost figure or a witch figure, attach it to the drone and fly it around?
I've not seen that, but I can see that happening. Sam, damn it, Sam. He's calling me out. No, it's true, man. And it was real. I wish my mom was here to tell you, because when you brought that up, whoo, she got lit. She was on it. She's like, oh my God. Yeah, she would go on about it. So I try to tell the story with her fever and her pitch to it, because it was earth shaking, And do you guys remember the show V?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. After that happened, I think it was 2 years later, V came out. And it's like, what? It's like, holy cow. That was like, just as a kid, you see that. I mean, I remember missing school events for V. It's like, wow, I need to go back and watch it. That was unreal. I mean, the first.
As a kid,
I remember.
Go ahead.
Remember a few years ago, they brought that series back.
Yes.
From the original.
No
wasn't
kidding.
as good as the original.
Yep.
Well, they tend to do that. They tend to ruin stuff.
As a kid, I had a major crush on, what was her name? Jane Bader? Jane Bader?
I don't remember her name.
She, the head female alien.
I can picture her. I can kind of get that picture.
Yeah, so can I.
Wow. That show took over our school. I think we were like all freaked out because we didn't know if it was real or not, or where they were drawing their inspiration from. I remember watching Soylent Green when I was young too. I never got what was going on there because I was a kid. Crystal Blue Eye Girl, Sam says. But you know, then later on, Soylent Green, I realized what it all meant. I just didn't. I don't know. Movies kind of bypass me. Now they do, because I'm just going to say I'm high a lot, but not when I don't need to be, just when I need to be. So.
I just got an alert for that spaced out radio. It's what would you do if you saw a monster today?
Okay.
You know what? If you've been around on the streets or went to Walmart or anything like that, you probably saw a fucking monster today and didn't even know it anymore.
Hey, Chris, I have a little bit of history with Dave Scott. I've been in his chat room a lot, and he always says hello, Led, when he sees my name making a post. He's nice guy. But once in fact, 2 or 3 times, I was doing investigations, and there was psychics in his chat room. I actually did investigations out of his chat room with psychics.
Oh, wow.
One event, I had 2 USA psychics. One was Panama, one was in Canada, and I got somebody that I was investigating with them. They were more the hosts. They were letting me in the building with no paranormal experience, but they were in the chat room picking up stuff the psychics were picking up. They were on the first floor. I was on the second on a ghost box getting the same information. And she came up there twice saying, okay, Lynn, here's what they say. Here's what the psychic said. And the psychics were repeating the same exact thing that the audience, because I had about 15 people watching, had heard live. And then the psychics were saying the same thing. And the girl could not hear us. This is an old courthouse. We were in the courtroom upstairs. They let me have rule the courtroom for a while. So I sat about 15 people in the audience part while I was up there in front of where the judge sits doing a ghost box session. And it was kind of creepy. They were saying about one of the guys was hanged in 1850 here locally, and the other guy that was talking was the guy that hanged him.
Wow.
The guy one had stolen the other guy's horses, I believe, in Pine Bluff, and they come down here because we have the longest bayou on the planet. You may have heard that in my intro. We also have, of course, a very large creek, Cane Creek. That's why I said I'm in Cane Creek Township, because there's a major creek running through the area. So there's plenty of water to water the horses. And he was about 30 miles, which is about as far as you can take a horse, especially a cow, at a trot during the day. He came down here, and the guy, the owner of the animals, followed the hoof prints down to here, caught him and hanged him. Well, the guy who was hanged wants a trial. The guy who did the hanging is being held in that courthouse awaiting trial. So both of them want a trial on the other one, and I have not managed to talk a local judge into going in there and doing a mock trial in the middle of the night.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yes, you can see the impossibility of this.
Yeah.
When all the local churches deny the existence of any kind of ghost, you're not going to talk a judge that's elected to office pulling a big paranormal investigation in the courthouse in the middle of the night. That's just not going to work. I've tried to do it myself, but they don't accept me as a judge. I tried to say, okay, you're both guilty of murder, but you know what? You gotta move on and get out of the courthouse. And no, they want a judge and want a jury trial.
This was where?
Star City.
Oh, they're at your place. Okay, all right.
Yes, I actually went in there and did a paranormal investigation of the courthouse, and our boxes were still in the house. We had not fully moved here. We barely had our stuff. All our stuff moved in, and 3/4 of our stuff was still in boxes. And I'm doing a paranormal investigation of the courthouse.
How long have you been in that area, Len?
We came down here. We took over. We finally moved in this house. May was 8 years.
8 years.
So we've been here just over 8 years.
Well,
we were in Dupness, about 20 miles away, for a few months. So we moved
Yeah, you used to live out here in Illinois, didn't you?
Yes, I was on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
So you're in Illinois, Chris?
Yeah.
What part of Illinois are you in?
I'm about an hour from the Iowa border.
Gotcha.
Okay. Know where you are. Yeah, I was on the south side of Chicago by Marquette Park. That pretty well identifies where I was. That was right off the corner of 71st and California on the south side.
You're
okay.
Out, Len. Way things sound there.
Yeah, because I haven't lived out here where I'm at for 5 years, but then I grew up in the Joliet area.
Okay, Sam had to run.
Take care, Sam. We'll see you, brother. Hopefully soon. So, Len.
What was he talking about? Download Etched in Embers?
He is our booking agent.
Okay.
So he hopped on just to say hi. But no, he's just trying to promo for us a little bit. He's a good guy. I like him. A veteran. He's out in Las Vegas right now. They just relocated to Las Vegas. So we've only worked with Sam, I guess maybe 6 months, 8 months, something like that. We're prepping 25 with him. So okay. I'm sure he's stoked to hear that we got new music in the works. If anybody's interested, we definitely getting some new stuff out there. So
where can you find this album?
You can find it at etchedinembers.net. Etchedinembers.net. As we mentioned earlier, with the Etched in Embers, the gal, the artist gal. So yeah, ours is etchedinembers.net. And that'll take you to the store. You can get the store there and get the album. Plus our previous album, our EP, which a lot of people don't realize, we are on our second album. We're getting ready to do our third, but we've got an EP out there of the early stuff as well. So, David,
both great albums.
David, I am super proud of them for sure, and I think that we lean on a lot of people in the music industry to help make these things happen. When you have an idea, it's great to get other minds in there to help shape those ideas into things you didn't even dream of. And with technicians that are far more experienced at a recording console, like what I'm sitting here right now, like I could make an album right here, right now. But do I have the experience to make it sound like what our album turned out like? Absolutely not. The guys that we go to have that experience to be able to capture that idea and help form that idea. And in some cases, co-write songs to make them sound like they do on the album. And but we're stoked on that release. Super proud of it.
You got to be really talented. I've not told either one of you, but back in the early 90s, I was working with a rock band as a roadie.
Oh, right on.
And when they were playing, I was working light security.
Oh, right on.
I didn't go into the bouncing thing. I let the bouncers of the nightclub take care of that. But if somebody got into the lighting, then I got involved.
Right on. Well, cool. I think people that are involved in music in any capacity, whether it's artists or lighting or security or just anything to make the world go round in it, are special people. Live events are crucial, I think, and getting out to those, man, it can be rewarding for the soul to be around like-minded people, listening to music, enjoying the experience, and that's what we take on. Man, I don't want to just be there playing a song. I want to perform as long as I'm able. I'm not a youngster. I take it very seriously that what I do is you know, a lot of people feel beyond my age. There's a lot of ageism in different aspects of this, but I want people to feel like they were delivered a show when they come out to see us. And I really, you know, I don't write lyrics for other people necessarily. I write them for myself, but I think that as a human being, that we all have those similar experiences. Just to give a little tidbit right now, just within the last week, I wrote a song called Good Friends, and shared it with the guys. They seem to dig it. We're going to take it to the studio. But it's just about, it's become a very difficult, and not that it always hasn't been, but really difficult thing to see who your true friends are. And I've had good friends that maybe aren't so good friends. And, but a lot of people have had those experiences. And I think people are going to be singing that, like Manic, for example. Manic, we didn't feel was a single, but it's one of some of our fans' favorite song. And that is one, outside a Happy song, Manic is the song we see people sing. And it's awesome because when we went to the studio with that chorus was dear to me. And I feel that we are a society that likes to watch people fail instead of lending a helping hand. And we don't need to help everybody. A lot of people need to learn on their own. They've got to fall, and stumble in life. But Manic,
that's how you learn.
Exactly. And I think that we're taking that away from society, Len, is people need to stumble and fall. We don't need to have safety nets for everything.
Right.
But
we learn by doing. That's a human thing.
You know what? I've learned more by doing than I have by sitting. And that's the thing. I think that people are sitting a lot and learning a lot less, but they think they know a lot more. I don't know. And maybe I could be classified as one of those people at times. I don't know. I don't ever want to try to paint myself with something different than what everybody else is. But I think that currently, my 50 some years on this planet, which I don't want to give away my age to anybody that cares about it, but a lot's changed. And it's raising 4 kids, 2 older, 2 younger. It's a different experience to raise kids, a different environment to raise kids. But I don't know. I think that we need music and we need to tell our stories. And I've been silenced in my stories. I've had YouTube censor us. I've had Facebook censor us. I've had promoters not work with us. I've had people not want anything to do with our band because some of our early releases had a little bit of a content where it was just about, I'm just tired of where we are. And Had Enough is a perfect example of that. I did that song and we used fair use video under the Fair Use Act of news footage from all over the world about COVID and things like that. And YouTube immediately struck it. And
Wow.
they just didn't want us saying the same thing the news stations are saying and showing. But it's called Had Enough. And our friend from Discrepancies, he lent a stellar rap verse in it to ATG from Discrepancies did. So it's super cool. I just shared that the other day. I was like, still proud of that tune. But Fear got a lot of censorship. Had Enough got a lot of censorship. Your Crimes didn't experience it as much, although it has a similar sentiment and feeling that we are all being taken advantage of. We're two sides that are all being taken advantage of. So I don't know. Here we are. Let's see what happens in the next, what is it now? 4 months, 5 months. We got two candidates that I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in. I just hope we're here in another 10 years to talk about it all.
Yes.
So I got a story.
Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Len. I was going to say I got a story about like your good friend situation and music related here. So back when I was 17, 18, and I was promoting a Chicago band, big Chicago band right now, became good friends with them. They landed a record deal. They held a contest for winning tickets for life. They kind of rigged the contest and made sure I won that contest. But once they blew up, I've never seen one of those tickets. I've never spoken to them again. They just completely stopped talking to me. And now they're one of the biggest bands in Chicago right now.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to mention names, but Russ, I'm sure you might know who it is.
Yeah, well, I can imagine that happens with a lot of people where they feel that same sense where, man, people, I wish that I had the friend network I had back when I was younger. It was always a place to hang out, always the place to come and be. And, as you get older, I think it's natural that people move on and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess there's people that do experience that. But in the music industry, it's hard for me to feel that there's not an agenda for something all the time. For, one person acting this way or one person acting that way. I always see those things where they're shared about music being a competition or it's not a competition. I'm like, nobody's going to answer this honestly because
No.
it 100% ends up being a competition, no matter if you're vying for shows. I want to lift the community up too, but I want to make sure that we're doing the best we can for ourselves. It's never meant in any bad way, but that ticket for life thing I've seen with a couple different bands. And I wonder how they manage that when they just can't do those tickets. But we're all about giving back. I don't know if people remember, we did a contest a year ago, 2 years ago, where we offered, and the person that won it 100% legit, and then decided, he's like, you know what, I don't want to take that money from you. But we were giving away flight to Vegas and tickets to a show. And it was overextending us a little bit, but 100% we're going to gift that to the people that want it. And Derek Wisenhunt won it, and he's like, I just want to come hang out, I just want to party, I want, so he opted for, he's been a supporter, he's even given cash to us to buy the sound magazines when those came out. But man, that'd be I want to know, I'm going to message you, Chris, I want to know who this is, because I've actually thought about this same giveaway, and I want to make sure I don't do what was done to you to anybody.
Well, I'm going to say this. I usually go on Shiprocked every year.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
my mind is blank right now, but the old singer of Anthrax was on there, and I sat there and talked to him for like a good hour. And he said when he met the guy from this band, he thought he was the complete biggest dick that he's ever met.
I believe it. Chris, you offered an opportunity for me to get to Shiprock this year, right?
I did.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That was, and damn. I seen people going, oh, I don't want to go to Shiprock this year because I think it was Parkway Drive, and I can't remember who all was on it. But
the year I invited you, I think, no, I didn't invite you the year Parkway Drive was there.
No, I think they're coming up. They were announced for next year. Yeah.
Yeah, Parkway Drive played 2 years ago. Best fucking concert I've ever seen.
No shit.
Yep.
Cool. I'd like to catch him. We're sitting here talking. Len's just hanging out. We're sitting here chatting.
This is what I do on my show. If I got some guests that want to talk, unless I have a comment on what they're saying, I just sit back and listen.
Well, I'm honestly excited about the paranormal aspect of it because, like I said, it's not anything I've experienced. Super cool of Chris to invite it to us. Chris, we're going to 100% help with ticket sales and get we got a decent following in Iowa. So I'm going to try to get some people going up there. And I think the show, Alborn's got a good following. And they're great guys and so freaking good live. So good live. So, and I think we played with the Non-Grata guys probably 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm excited to see those guys again, but it's going to be a good show. And I'm super excited I love the show playing part, but the following night with the investigation, I don't know. I might have to message you and kind of get some guidelines of what we can expect and all that, because I'm completely in the dark as far as what it entails.
Well, Edinburgh, I've never had any bad experience at Edinburgh. Like a lot of places, you get like that creepy vibe. When you walk into Edinburgh, it's like you feel nothing but love. There's nothing bad there. There's a lot of talks about the Joker in the basement. Never had anything negative like that down there.
That's cool.
There was
completely dark, Chris, when you're in there. Is it? I mean, how's that? Yeah, it's
pitch black.
Dark, pitch black, and you go in. You go in with, you don't want lighting in there, I would assume.
Correct.
When you go in, right? Okay.
Well, Russ, to explain a little bit what you're asking about, when I go into a place like that, pitch dark is great for TV and it's scary looking, but you bump into everything.
That's what I'm into.
Walls. But I'll tell you a little secret about the paranormal. It does with biology. A green light will not affect the pupil of your eye. No effect. If they're closed, they remain closed. If they're wide open, your pupils are dilated, green light will not change that either. A red light will cause your pupil to dilate so you can see it better. It's got a longer wavelength. You know, light's got particles and waves. It's the weird thing in science. And red lights will cause your eyes to dilate. So when you're in a dark place, I try to use red and green lighting so I can keep my night vision.
Gotcha. So that doesn't cause that to go away, because and that's so cool when your eyes do settle in and you have that night vision, so to speak. It's amazing, because I've experienced it and really tried to even look for that at times, like where you're in a pitch black area. We've done some cave stuff over the years, and that was probably the biggest experience I've had, where you're in. I can't remember where I was in Colorado or something, where we go into the cave, the darkest part of it, and then they shut all the lights off. Take care, David. We'll see you.
David.
So Pam, that was just in there and left the comment, that's actually my aunt, and she's on the paranormal team with me.
What's going on, Pamela?
Oh, cool.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to get to, only because I've got to do real world shit, I guess, tomorrow. My roof was damaged.
Oh, wow.
Sweet. That'll be awesome, Jamie. I'm stoked for the Edinburgh Manor deal. But yeah, my roof was damaged. I got to go meet my roofing company tomorrow morning early. So we had hail and wind, and I came home from a show to water pouring in my living room. House is only 16, 17 years old. Water pouring through our living room ceiling. So getting the roof, unfortunately.
Well, appreciate you being in here, Russ.
Yep.
Man,
I might see you August 3rd, Russ, at the show you guys are playing with Any Given Sin.
Dude, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Cool guys in Any Given Sin. They did a lot for my kid's birthday for him, but it's going to be a tough decision because Seven Dust is playing the fest in the town next to me, so I got to make a decision.
Well, I'm going to tell you to go to Seven Dust, but because I'm a huge Seven Dust fan. But,
same here.
But you add up all the bands at Dirty 30 Fest too, and maybe we can equal one Seven Dust. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be great to see you then. And if you can make it down, that'd be awesome. I'm not sure what's going to happen with us. I think we may try to do a couple dates before that, a Thursday, Friday before that show. That's being discussed right now. Maybe Texas, maybe Louisiana, Arkansas, maybe even Arkansas, Lynn. So there's some options there, but I'm stoked. If I don't get to see you on the 3rd, I will see you on the 8th.
Definitely.
But Russ, I will warn you about one thing about Arkansas. Fayetteville is one of the fastest growing cities in America, because you got University of Arkansas there. The governor has basically given away the farm on tax breaks, etc., to companies to come to Arkansas. Most of them are going to Fayetteville. We've had California people coming in, want to get away from the high taxes in California to a low tax state, and they are moving around Fayetteville because that's where the jobs are right now. Little Rock's growing some. Fayetteville is growing faster. So be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared for a big audience in Fayetteville.
Right on. We've only been in Arkansas one time. We played Mountain Home, a place called the Oasis, and it was a good night. We were with see ya. We were with Paralandra that night, and there were a bunch of fires going on, and it was kind of sketchy getting there. It was sketchy afterwards, but a good time. But that was the only time we've been in Arkansas, so stoked to be back. But yeah, it could be a Fayetteville gig, Glenn, and who knows where it will be. Booking agents working on that, and we may end up just hitting Dirty 30 and heading back. So we'll be in the studio right before that. So that may kind of dictate that as well. So.
Well, keep me informed.
All right, we'll do. Well, Len, Chris, appreciate you guys, man. And I will see you on the 8th at least, and maybe on the 3rd, Chris.
Yeah, we'll talk before then.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
Take it easy, Russ. Appreciate you being here.
See you. Thanks, everybody.
Chris.
Yeah.
It's halftime right now. We got a little break. Let me go ahead and play a couple of things promoting other folks for a halftime ad break, and I'll be right back with you. Is that all right with you?
Yep, I'm going to go use the washroom and then we'll talk again.
All righty then. So I'll just get busy selling stuff and you can go get rid of stuff.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Hope everything comes out all right. All right. As most people know, I do a lot of promotions for people. We were talking about this banner that was on the banner on Facebook. We were talking about the Edinburgh Manor Paranormal Rockdown. They're going to be there August the 8th and 9th. That is investigation on the 9th. I believe the band's playing on the 8th, if I've got that right. So that's one thing I'd like to say. I forget what this is. Ooh, yes. Here we go. Shadow Seekers Paranormal. You see, August the 8th, Tailgater Sports Bar, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. August 9th, Edinburgh Manor and Monticello, Iowa. So there's what that's all about, where it is. If you're in there, if you're in that neighborhood, go to it, have some fun, listen to some good rock and roll. And let's see. Here is an event that I am actually going to. It's not being promoted much right now. It's with the Ghost Hunting Housewives. You can get the tickets on eventbrite.com. Just look up the Ghost Hunting Housewives. And that's in Reserve, Louisiana, 115 West 4th Street, right there on the river, September 21st. That's a Saturday. Having an investigation of the St. John Theater. It's a guided ghost hunt. It's kind of short, but you're in a place you don't get into very much. The St. John Theater. It's not like you can just contact the theater and get in there. So I will be there. Ghost Hunting Wives will be there. And also the Louisiana Spirits Group will also be there. So if you're in the area in September, come on down. I will be doing some investigating I will not have the full show down there because it's just a 3-hour. I'm not going to bother setting up for that. But I will be coming back with some many photos and some videos from that theater. So if you want to go, come on down. And what we'll do is a little bit of Broadhead Manor.
Broadhead Manor welcomes Sam Beltrusis to the Moonbow Metaphysical Summer Expo and After Hours Investigation only at Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin. Saturday, July 20th from 10 a.m. to midnight. Author and clairvoyant Sam Beltrusis has been seen on The Curse of Lizzie Borden, Fright Club, House in Between Two, and Paranormal Night Shift, and many more. He's the author of Fueled by Fear, Related to Evil, and many more great books. Investigation tickets are $60 per person. Email jdkeller26@hotmail.com to get yours today.
All right. We're going to talk about Psychics Paranormal. They will be shown with their shows. And let me give you a couple of trailers about the shows. The Psychics Paranormal will be putting out the channels, and where that will be available will be announced at a later date. But here's a couple of trailers from an up-and-coming show.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of deaths in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with Marilyn, a psychic/paranormal investigator. And together, we're going to check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
I noticed that Mike has a little bit of a hard time paying attention.
What'd you see? Hey, what are you doing?
Is he seriously eating right now? Watch your steps. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
I'm gonna have my hands full. He can't even walk without assistance. You okay?
I'm good. Every year, paranormal investigators go hungry. 1 out of every 1,000 paranormal investigators you know will die from malnutrition. Without your help. So please, donate today. Call the number listed below. Every penny matters. Every dime could save a life. More specifically, mine. So thank you from the bottom of my stomach.
Okay, trailer number 2 of Paranormal.
I
Here we go.
can be your hero, baby.
Damn it, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of deaths in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with Marilyn, a psychic / paranormal investigator. And together, we're going to check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
Mike really has a hard time paying attention. His mind is all over the place. Watch your step. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
What happened?
You just fell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to have my hands full. Hey, what are you doing?
What?
Didn't we talk about that last night?
Yeah, I'm not as big on friends as you are. I told you, I'm more of an office guy.
You're not supposed to be eating on investigations. Do that either before we come
Okay,
in.
well, hold on now. That was really more of a nibble.
Is he seriously eating right now?
How did you expect me not to eat? You know how hungry you get doing these investigations? Sometimes you just gotta snack. A man has to snack.
Mike. Could you not eat during the interview?
We'll be announcing at a later time when it finally comes out what channel they're going to be on. That is going to be a very funny show. Mike is a stand-up comic. She is a psychic and paranormal investigator. That should be a lot of fun when they come out. All right. We'll go back in and bring out Chris. He's taking care of business. I took care of advertising business. So, Chris, where do you want to take us now? What do you want to talk about?
So I'll just say about the one ad that you ran for Broadhead Manor.
Yes.
Amy Lynn is a great person. You just had her on your show, I believe. That'll be a great event you don't want to miss. We are actually going to Broadhead Manor on July 6th for an investigation, and Jamie's probably going to join us as well there. So we're looking forward to that.
Jamie is a fantastic person. I fully agree with you. I wish I could be there because that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be our first time there, so.
Cool. Broadhead Manor is an interesting place. Never been there. I would love to go there. I'll maybe get there sometime. Maybe some other time when Jamie's going to be in there.
Yeah, she's there quite often, I hear, so.
Right,
other than that, good.
Where else are you going to be besides there? You're going to be there. What was the date again? You were going to be there at Broadhead?
July 6th, so not this upcoming Saturday, the following Saturday.
Wow. Okay. I would love to be there because mainly July 3rd is my birthday, and I'm not shy about my age. I will be 68 years old July 3rd.
So what places have you, when you were in Chicago, what places did you investigate out here?
Have you ever heard of Ethel's Party Bar?
No.
It was a funeral home for about 90 some odd years, almost 100 years before it was a bar. Now it's closed. It's completely closed up. But that was a very haunted place. It was actually haunted by a Bruno Rodi who was actually keeping about 20 to 25 other spirits captive in the bar. He was stuck in place in the bar could once in a while come upstairs and he'd be seen as a shadow figure, sometimes running across the ceiling. Sometimes when the owner would end up napping when the bartender locked up, and he'd wake up in the middle of 3 or 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and see a shadow figure walking around the bar. I investigated it several times and come up with some amazing stuff. I had a spirit, Bruno, actually walked through me, which is kind of nerve wracking. That's always worth nerve wracking. Any spirit walks through you, but Bruno was a natural born killer. He ran the 26th Street gang until Al Capone left New York and came to Chicago and took over the 26th Street gang, which became the Chicago Outfit.
And
Bruno,
is that something else now, or did they tear the building down, or what?
Neither. There's nobody in there. They had to refurbish the building. The facade was actually crumbling, so the city made them fix the outside facade so it wouldn't kill anybody walking by, getting hit by falling masonry. And they, of course, vacated the bar. They've straightened up a little bit inside there. But as far as I know, the building's still there. Bruno is not. That's an investigation. I actually closed out working with another psychic. We got Bruno out of there and freed 20 to 25 other spirits, including a little girl who got stuck there. And now the place may or may not still be haunted. I think we got everything out.
It's a good thing.
Yes, kind of got everybody out of there and moved them on. Of course, Baxter's Grove. Let's see, there's a long list of Chicago. I was a paranormal investigator there for about 10 years of my 14 up in Chicago. I hit most of the places.
Did you ever do the bar where what's her name, Mary, was at?
Oh, you're talking about the bar on the south side of town?
Yeah, where the girl got killed on prom night or whatever.
Right. We're speaking of Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had been to that bar several times. I'm one of the few people who's actually been in the basement of that bar. I had Jamie Lynn. Jamie is a super person. I will be seeing Jamie later on next year at an event, the Cajun Con, next April. So I will meet up with her there, I believe. I've got a table. I will be showing videos of Baxter's Grove, etc. While I'm there. I'll also be conducting some Echovox investigations. And we've got an investigation of a local historical area Saturday night. So that's gonna be a lot of fun with Jamie. But anyway, Mary, she supposedly caught a taxi cab ride to the somewhere. I'm not sure where she was going. And the taxi driver pulled up to the bar, Melody's Lounge.
And she was gone.
And yeah, he went inside to get change for 20 and came out and she was gone. They actually keep a Bloody Mary most of the times on the end of the bar in case she comes by and wants a drink. It's right across the street from the big cemetery. I was actually there. We had Richard Crowe, which is the godfather of all things paranormal in Chicago. Everybody worked with him at least once or twice. And he started basically the paranormal. There would not be paranormal in Chicago if not for Richard Crowe. He's like buried at Resurrection across the road. And we had his wake in the Melody's Lounge bar.
Now, was that when, did you actually see the handprints in the bars before they removed them?
Yes. I believe I did. Oh, yeah. Jamie's got a question for you.
To bring him so I can stay. If not, that's cool. Sounds good to me, Jamie.
Hey, puppies are cool. You can't
If that's what gets you there, then let's do it.
you can't go wrong with puppies. Were you talking about either an animal or are you talking about a woman's anatomy? And
The
Jamie's
animal.
probably going to throw something at me for that.
I'm sure the comment's coming.
So there she is. She's going to be there.
Look forward to see you again, Jamie. But yeah, I mean, that's what we got going on. We got Broadhead going on. Then we got our event, the Paranormal Rockdown. And then in October, we got the Paracon convention up in Rock Island at the old YMCA.
Cool.
We're
That
trying to
sounds
book
like
some more stuff.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Josh
here's
Furthers
your
will be
comment.
there. As long as we don't start with the Hawk Tua crap that's going all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing that. One stream I was watching earlier, that's all they kept commenting on.
What have you got anything planned in the first part of next year, or have you planning that far in advance?
Not yet. We're working on trying to get Eloise Asylum in Detroit. That's one we're trying to do. I got a buddy that we're trying to get a podcast started ourselves that we're going to call the Paranormal Rockdown and have rock bands on there and talk paranormal, their experiences and stuff like that. And then going to be working on some other events with the guys from We Are Paranormal. We're going to plan some other ones. And then hopefully Paranormal Rockdown 2. We'll be planning that as well.
Well, when you get ready to launch your podcast, let me know. I'll book you for a date on this show, and we can promote your show on this show.
Sounds great. Eloise is like $1,200 for 6 hours for 10 people.
That's expensive.
That's correct, Jamie Lynn. It is. But we're trying to work a deal. Hopefully the deal will go through. So.
Well, I wish you luck with that. That sounds like an expensive place to go, but again, that should be an interesting place to investigate.
Yeah, I just watched the show. It's on Fox Nation, Secret of the Asylum, and it's 6 episodes of just Eloise Asylum. And after watching that, it's like I got to go there and check this place out.
Well, I can echo Jamie and Lynn here. I hope it happens for you.
If it happens, Jamie, we need 10 people, so you're invited.
I can't see her turning that offer down. Remember now, I'm a witness. I heard the offer.
It's just a long drive. Hate the long drives, but hopefully it'll be worth it.
How long was a long drive for you? Talking about more 5 hours or more, or 10, or what?
It's almost 7.
Almost 7. With investigation, I'll be on in September. Is about a 6.5 hour drive because it's to the west of New Orleans, right there on the Mississippi River. That there I'll be at. And then, of course, the Cajun Con is just to the west of there. So both of them are about 6 hours from me down in Louisiana.
And they're separate days, or are they a couple days apart?
Oh, those two investigations are months apart. The investigation at the theater is September 21st, and the Paracon is not till April. So see, I've got plans already for the first part of next year. I'm not doing too much right now because I'm working on the house, and hopefully a big part of that will be done by spring, so I can start getting out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's hard now. A lot of these places, they're all over TV and everything, and it's hard to book them now because they book up so fast.
Yes, everybody wants to get in there. I like the virgin places where
Yeah.
they haven't been very much. There's a local hospital that I did over in Dumas. When I was, we stayed there for a few weeks until this house opened up and we got it livable, put a roof on it, etc.
Yeah, I'm trying to
And
get
it's
this.
got,
Good. I'm sorry I interrupted you there.
it was is the old hospital. Jamie Lynn was asking where you live, but it was, they ran some Halloween events there, and so I got in there. I was the only person to ever investigate there, and it's got a nurse that tries to run you out and tells the spirits not to talk to you.
Damn.
Yeah, it's hard to get in there. You got a special permission from the city. The police need to know you're there. And I will never go in there again by myself because it's across the street from the school. And Dumas is one of the scariest towns of 25,000 or less people to go into. There is a lot of crime in there. And if I ever go in there, even if I went in there with you or somebody else, big, young, and strong, I'd probably still carry a weapon. I'd probably have my shotgun hidden in my paranormal gear.
A lot of places you got to do that now because with how big they are on TV, a lot of people show up and try breaking in and all that stuff.
Yes. I actually had one during the investigation. I had a police car sitting in front of the hospital for about 3/4 of the time. He finally got pulled away because of another call. You see the question Jamie Lynn asked you, where you live.
Yeah,
You want to touch
Jamie,
on that?
I'm in Ottawa, so I'm about an hour and a half from the Iowa border. Takes me about hour and 10 minutes to get to the YMCA there in Rock Island.
Yeah, that's a place I'd love to get into. Never got into it when I was in Chicago.
Yeah, I've gone there a couple times now. The first time I got absolutely nothing there. And then they had the kids night there, so I took my son and we had so much happen that second time went there.
I always like it when people say I went there and got nothing. I have been to several places and got nothing.
Yep.
Investigate place one time and have an opinion about a place that's haunted or not. You see, Jamie Lee is in Moline right now.
Okay.
So,
I was just out there that way yesterday. I had to go to a training out there at in Bloomington.
because when somebody tells me they didn't get anything, or I go in there and see it myself, where I do everything I can and get nothing. I realize that I must be doing something right. Because if I got evidence on every time I cranked open a piece of paranormal equipment, I would start to doubt my own finding.
Yeah.
Because it's just not possible that you can walk in every place and the ghosts start talking to you. That just does not happen. Jamie Lynn, you talking
Correct.
about this coming Saturday night?
Where's it at again, Jamie, for Saturday?
Jamie is a busy person. She pointed out.
That's the lodge you're going to, right? The 1865 or whatever lodge?
She replies. But she said right here I'm basically booked to November 9th. She's supposed to be on the show, and we really had to put her in advance. There you go. The Masonic Lodge.
I'll see what I could do. My car's kind of in the shop right now, so we'll see if I can make it happen.
What's wrong with your car?
Oh, the engine went out on it.
You're having a
So I
new
just had-
engine put in your car?
Yep.
That's a pretty penny.
Yeah, it's about $6,500 for engine and labor and everything.
Wow. Wow. And I thought I had problems that needing the air conditioner fixed.
Yep, that's what I get for buying a Chevy, I guess.
Well, at least your engine is cheaper than mine. The last I priced the engine that goes in my car, it was $20,000, and that's shipped to you on a crate.
Yep, I had to order one from AutoZone. I ordered it, and because they couldn't find a decent one out here, so I had to order from AutoZone, and they're shipping it right to the shop it's at.
Right. I have to get mine from Dodge. It's a 425 horse Hemi.
Damn.
Yes. Those engines are expensive. Of course, mine's barely broke in. It's got 125,000 miles. And I've talked to people with the same engine that I've got that are over 300,000.
Mine only had 110,000 on it.
Wow. What year Chevy was it?
19.
Wow. That I thought engines lasted more than that, even with a Chevy.
Yeah, you would think. I've had other Chevys that went a lot longer, but
Wow. Well, I'm sorry you're having that issue.
yeah, it's life, I guess, right?
Yep. You know, life sucks, then you die. That's what to say. So, where in Chicago area have you been?
We haven't done too much in Illinois. Mostly we've done like stuff in Iowa. We've done Indiana State Sanitarium. We went to the one old school up in Wisconsin, Jericho, I believe it was.
Okay. She said 16, almost 90K.
It's
Okay,
not that bad
both,
for 2016.
y'all both gonna get mad at me. Our car is a 2006 model with 125,000.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so we bought it 8 years ago. It had 88, just over 88,000. So in 8 years, we've only gotten to 125,000, and that includes 3 trucks from here to New Orleans, and of course the ride from Chicago to here because it's a Chicago car. In fact, we bought it from the mob. We bought it from the Chicago outfit, Al Capone mob, which is only one of 2 mobs still operating in Chicago. They kind of trimmed them back in the 70s, 80s, and very early 90s. So they did leave 2 mobs still operating, and of course the Chicago outfit with Al Capone is one of them, and they had a car, still do have a car lot there, enclosed, and they've got cars there for $500,000.
Damn. No,
Yeah,
so since you used to be from Chicago, how many times have you gone to Gene and Jude's?
Gene and Jude's, I believe I was there once.
The hot dog joint? Best hot dogs in Chicago.
Yeah. I think I went there once with the wife. By the way, I married a Chicago girl. which is interesting. Me being a Georgia guy and living there most of my life, and living in Florida for a little bit, Alabama for a short time, ended up marrying a Chicago girl.
Well, how long did you live in Chicago?
14 years.
Okay.
Got up there summer of 2001, and I was there till December 1st, 2015.
I'd love to get out of here, but with my son and everything, I got no way to get out of here right now. So
I can understand. We didn't have kids, so we didn't have that to worry about. We just decided to move. I was retired. I was with a disability. I had one artificial knee. The other knee, all the cartilage was gone out of it. Couldn't get a Social Security disability in Chicago. Came down here to Arkansas. They gave one X-ray, and the X-ray showed that I had an artificial knee on one side and practically no cartilage on the left side. And he told me how much disability I was going to get. He said
disability is so hard to get out here. My stepson is disabled, nonverbal, doesn't communicate well on anything, and it's the toughest time to even get it.
Yeah, Illinois is really tough. They don't want to let anybody get through that. I know several people over the years that were having issues. I had issues. They turned me down twice with an artificial knee on one side, mind you. They turned me down twice. And Arkansas approved me immediately. And 6 months after getting here, I was getting disability.
Yep, Illinois beat us with everything. Retiring.
Well, the reason I say that it's a play on Deadpool, because Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds is God's perfect idiot. He calls himself that. And I love a good joke. I like to kid around and cut up. And if you're on an investigation with me, it's a combination of serious investigations, or I'll say something quite off the wall, like I did with the puppies earlier.
Took me 3 years. Surprised you got it that quick.
Yeah. I knew somebody who was completely messed up. He had trouble walking across the room, and it was about 3 or 4 years before he could get disability. It was pathetic. It's really sad up there to get stuff. And down here it's immediate. And I tell you why I moved, Chris. Property taxes on the house we owned in Chicago was $2,800 every 6 months. Down here, we're paying slightly less than $200 a year for the house and the car.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
And when we moved down here, the house, we basically bought 4 acres with a house on it for not a whole lot more than the 4 acres. And today we sold the back 2 acres that we're not using. It was just all cluttered up with some trees. Of course, I'm going to help them clear it. But we sold half of our 4-acre lot, so we're on 2 acres now. So I put that check in the bank today.
And what you sold it for will probably pay your taxes for years to come.
Yes, what we sold it for will pay $200 a year for many years, probably long past for where I'm going to live. But that's I'm making an addition, putting a roof out there, and building a room, an outside kitchen area, and I'm also building. I'm a Western fan, So I'm building a Western bar. I've got to find some old wood because to make it out of new wood, I have to age it with a torch or something, and build a Western-looking bar on my deck. This is a dry county. You
Yeah.
can't sell it, but there's nothing wrong with having a bar in my backyard. And if somebody wants to cram a dollar bill in a tip jar because they drink a couple of beers with me out here, that's that's nobody's business. They didn't buy the beer; they gave me a tip.
Correct. You need to find like an old barn or something that they're tearing down and get the wood from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for exactly. So you know exactly what I'm doing. So that's what I'm going to have. I'm going to get a Blackstone, the flat steel type grill and a regular grill. And instead of having a propane tank up under it, hooked up to it, I'm going to run some lines from my main propane tank and fire them up with a big tank of propane. Because it's mostly electric here. Most of my heating and air conditioning are electric, but I do have one gas heater, and we also cook with gas. With the new addition, I'm going to put another propane heater out there, but I don't fire them up unless we lose power during the winter.
Yeah.
They're just back up in case the power goes out during the wintertime. So life's a little different down here. I mean, I moved. Arkansas only has 3 million people in it. Chicago has almost 3 million people in it by itself, not counting the suburbs.
Correct.
And about another 3 million living in the suburbs. Okay, here she is. She wrote another book. There we go.
Good.
We both love you, Jamie. You have a good evening.
Have a good night, Jamie. We'll see you in a week and a half or so. Nick, what's going on, man?
Jamie is extremely active in the paranormal. Like she said up here, she's basically busy until November something. I've got her already, I think, in September for an appearance here on the show. It's the first one we could get. She is extremely active in the paranormal. Everybody knows her and everybody loves her. She's one of the nicest people in the paranormal to me. Hello, Nick.
I'd agree with you there.
She's knowledgeable. She investigates the right way, and she's just a great person. Another nice person, I don't know if you know her or not, Bree Hollingsworth.
Heard the name, but haven't met her.
I've had her on the show. We have not met face to face. She basically took her other half tour the country working with all kinds of paranormal groups. She has been to a long list of places, and she doesn't even post many photos. She posts a few photos on Facebook of where she goes. It's more about the people with her. She wants to meet everybody that's in the paranormal. So a lot of the pictures she posts is not pictures of a dark room. She's posting pictures of who she worked with there, which is an interesting approach.
Hey, Nick, if you're still in here, sad to see I didn't get to see you on Father's Day. Did the baby come yet or not?
Apparently it has. See, Jamie knew about it already.
Yep, I knew it was coming soon, but I didn't see no pictures, so.
What, Nick? You need to post some pictures of the baby. Come on. Everybody wants to see what your baby girl looks like. And what's up, party people? Well, you kind of missed it earlier in the show, Sean. We were talking about cocaine.
Yeah, we were partying way before.
Oh, there's pictures. Okay. All we got to
I'll
do
have
is
to
find
check.
the pictures.
I looked yesterday and didn't see any, so.
All right. So, you can't beat pictures of puppies or pictures of babies. Those are, you can't lose with those. So I guess you need to look again for photos of the baby, next baby.
Yeah, I'll check a little bit later here and see.
Yeah, congrats on that. By the way, like I said, you can't lose the baby pictures. Congratulations to you and anybody else who's had a baby in their lives. That's a lot of responsibility, a lot of expense. You got to really have a dedicated relationship. You need to be kind of settled down, making money from something to have a kid. So I respect anybody having a kid nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's Nick's first kid, too. Coke smells like energy.
It works especially if you get the whole cake size. If you saw the second Deadpool, where you can put a cake about three inches square and about 2 inches thick under your mask, and then pop the plastic.
Yep, I've seen it.
Of course, that's kind of expensive. You're putting $100,000 of Coke on your face. Oh, Chris, you're talking about I was in rock and roll. Have you ever heard of the bar Cowboys down in Alabama?
It sounds familiar.
It's been around. It's a huge bar. It's one of the largest bars in the country. And good night, Jamie. And that's where the rock band was that I was working with.
Which band was it, if you don't mind saying?
I don't remember. You're talking about 1991.
Were they a big band or?
No, they were a local band. That is the South Alabama, South Georgia, North Florida tour group.
Okay.
They'll hit Atlanta, they'll Columbus, a little bit in Macon, Tallahassee, Jacksonville. Then go to Cowboys, which is a huge bar. If you've never been to Dothan, Alabama, the bars are allowed to be. You wonder about bars being open in the middle of the Bible Belt. You can't get more Bible Belt than Alabama, but in Dothan they allow the bars to be open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They only require them to close 1 hour on Sunday morning to clean up.
Yeah, I've never heard of places like that. I know, like, strip clubs and stuff, they only got to close for a couple hours, but.
Yeah, the strip clubs down in New Orleans, you can party down there at 5 o'clock in the morning if they've got crowd. And they get to go outside and they'll open the closet doors at the bars about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and get you some kick butt rum drinks early in the morning. But Dothan is weird, 24/7, except for 1 hour a week, Sunday morning. And a lot of times they don't lock the doors in. They cannot sell you a beer. They'll be glad to sell you a Coke. That's about all they can do. And they don't officially ring it up. They'll give them $1 for a Coke, and they'll sit it on the bar and ring it up when they open. And of course, you got to put up with no music playing, nothing going on, just a person, sweeping or vacuuming the floor. Because working the bar, so sometimes we would No, the band would play to 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning
Damn.
on Friday and Saturday night. So, and then crank up about 8 o'clock in the evening. So that's a band taking 15, 20 minutes every hour on a break and going from, say, 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's 8 hours. You know, we're taking 15, 20 minutes an hour on a break.
It's a long time for a band to play.
Yeah, it's a long time for somebody standing there watching security on the lights, because I was their light person was my old lady, and she did the lights, and I stood there with her, security on the lights. If somebody started messing with the lights, and they talked to me. If they started wanting to fight by the lights, I just watch them until they bumped into the lights, and I got involved.
Yeah, that would never happen out here.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well, the one particular fight I'm thinking about, it was two big dudes. They were over 6 feet. They were well over 200 pounds. They looked like either first baseman from the baseball team, or as a quarterback, or they were a little tall, so I imagine wide receivers for a local football team. They were some big dudes, well built, and the bouncers could not handle them. They'd try to break them up, and the bouncer would just get pushed down. The bouncer just could not handle it, and they finally ran to the lights, and I ran out there and got between them, separated them, and one guy got caught the full Nelson and studied the carpet for a while. They took him face down and held him there. And the other guy, I just put my ankle on his nutsack, flexed my foot, so I had his nutsack in a pinch. I had my knee on his sternum, which will get your attention too. Then I grabbed him by the shirt collar and was about to break his nose. And they started to say, hey, you know, and was tapping out. And I said, look, dude, if you want up and you start shit after I let you up, there's going to be hell to pay. Because I'd have put him through a table. I'd already thrown him through a table once. If he'd started some crap after I let him back up, I'd have put his head through a table.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that with him. I just threw him. It was a little like an old Western in slow-mo. I shoved him backwards. He fell through a table, knocked a fortunately empty table. I'd forgotten to look to see if he was anybody sitting there or not. I got lucky. Nobody was. He went through a table, knocked the table over, knocked 3 chairs over and backwards. So it was a little bit of a commotion right there just off the dance floor. And then I landed on him and ended everything.
Yeah, there's always fights at the bars over here by me, so everybody's drinking their Busch and Busch Light.
Yeah, and that bar I was talking about with it was called Ethel's Party, and they bought another bar. The guy just wasn't getting his kind of crowd there, so they just closed Ethel's Party down and opened up another bar in another location and got a lot more business. But they got a lot of workers from the convention center there in South Side Chicago. And what they would do on Friday and Saturday night, sometimes during the week, you could go to the bathroom, women or the men's, didn't make any difference, and run your nose along the counter and get high on cocaine.
Sounds like a Michael Irvine party.
Yeah, because they were back there doing lines off the counter in the restroom. My wife would not even use the ladies' room there because she could walk in the door and you could smell it. And it was almost a contact high just walking in the bathroom.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a lot of coke on that counter. So I got to say, hello, Ted, if you're listening. He's the owner of WLFE. Yeah, we're talking cocaine. I'm not supposed to, but but sometimes when you're in the nightclub business, you've been there, I've been there. Cocaine happens in bars.
Yeah, happens everywhere.
Yeah, that's life in America.
Cocaine and heroin nowadays.
Yeah, well, down south, people can't afford cocaine too much, so a lot of it's down here is like the inner cities. It's meth and fentanyl.
Yep.
I mean, we got 3 million people here in their entire state, and the governor's gotta pay for programs to get people off fentanyl.
Yeah, it's bad out here by me. They like last couple days going down the highway to work. It's nonstop trucks being pulled over. So it's like I think they got word that there's a shipment coming in or something.
I can believe that. That's where a lot of your illegal immigrants are coming over.
Yep.
There's more illegal immigrants coming over in the backs of trucks than trying to cross the fence. That's the real poor folks that's trying to crawl through the fence and walk across. Most of them come over in trucks. I used to work for a company in Columbus. I'm not going to name the company, but I was one of a handful of white people working there. Mostly you had Latinos, and 90% of them were illegal. The manager's wife, she was at another location. They had 2 locations in town. She was at the other one, and she called her husband, and it was April 1st. So she thought she'd do an April Fool's joke. So she told him that she had heard that immigration was about to hit their main location where her husband was. And that got out, and we're looking around. All of a sudden, all the Latinos, again, which is about 98% of the employees in the place, were running toward the bay shipping doors, jumping out of the shipping doors, running across the parking lot and into the woods behind the place.
Sounds about right. That's how they save on payroll and taxes and all that.
Yeah. And when they need some employees, what they do, they had factories in Central America and in Mexico and in South America. And they would just send a truck down to Mexico, put some supplies in the far end of the trailer first, have an open space, have some stuff, some tanks or merchandise of some sort, and put at the end in front of the door. So if somebody opened the doors, all they saw was product. And unless they had a forklift, they were going to unload it, which they can't do that to every truck. They got to have some kind of information that something's on there, because custom agents don't have the time or the forklift to every truck that comes through start unloading half of it.
Yep, especially on the highway, they won't do that shit.
No, they can't. You don't have the equipment. You don't have the time, because yourself, even with a forklift, and you go in there, you got to put a pallet jack in there, because you can only get the first 4 out of the back of the trailer with a forklift. Then you got to start moving things towards your forklift with a pallet jack. So you're talking about 3 or 4 people working for a couple of hours to check each truck. You can't do that. You just can't. That's
all right, Len, I think I'm going to have to let you go.
All right. Chris, it's been fun talking with you. If you want to get together and talk some more, especially after you've met up with Jamie at a couple of other locations, be happy to have you back. And maybe next time we can get the band in here.
Yeah, we can do that. Maybe when we do Broadhead in July, me and Jamie can both come on and we'll all talk.
All right, I'll may set up something with her and see if they want to come on at least for a few minutes and figure out something on that July date.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
All right, I'll talk to Jamie about it so we can set it up. Like I said, it's been fun, Chris. You take care of yourself up there. Be careful with the nightclub stuff and hang out with the rock band and rock on.
All right, Len. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, we'll see you around. Good night.
All
Appreciate
right,
you
have
being
a good
here.
night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That's going to be our show tonight. We went, just a tad over 2 hours. So I appreciate everybody who came into the chat room tonight. JB Lynn, Gene, Nick, a lot of Jamie Lynn posts. Early on, of course, we had Sam McIntosh, David Glenn, Pamela, and Cameron. Appreciate all y'all coming by, spending some time with us tonight on the show. I thank everybody who listened to us on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe, please, if you're listening to YouTube. That I am not monetized yet. There will be a new set of rules if I have monetized, because if you mention cocaine or whatever too many times, they'll zap you. So they'll take that away from me. So I'm not monetized yet, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, because that definitely helps me out, increases the number of listeners. And, of course, I'd like to thank everybody, WLFEDB Radio, because that's the home network. Ted, sorry about the cocaine joke. Anyway, everybody take it easy. And next week, I will be recording a show. I'm not going to say the guest now, because we are talking about this weekend, putting on a show. If she's listening, she knows who she is. And we got in the morning, headed to the grocery store. But tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, into next week, I will be available for taping a show, and we'll air it. Of course, Thursday at the regular time. I like to tape 2 1-hour shows, because I can only show it's got to be at least a second inside of an hour, 59 minutes and 58 seconds or something. If I do 2 of them, I'll air one Friday, or one Thursday at the regular time. I air the second one Friday, and then I'll repeat on Saturday and Sunday, because she wants to talk about an event for the next weekend. So that's why I wanted to record a show with her this weekend, hopefully for airing next week, because we're talking about a Paracon, I believe, the next week. So I'll let you know about how that goes. And, of course, that's what I can do here at WLFEDB.com and StreamYard. All right. I'll let everybody go now. I've been on here talking enough. I'm a little bit hoarse. I am tired. As I said earlier, we sold half our lot today. So it's down there dealing with, fortunately, didn't have to deal with any lawyers. That's always a pain. But we did have to go to the land title people and figure all that out. And hey, it was a cashier's check. We've already deposited in the bank, and it's been guaranteed by the bank that sent it that it was good. So the money's there. I want to thank everybody involved with that. And I will see you. Well, I will not be live next week on July 4th. Wednesday is my birthday, the 3rd. On July 4th, everybody's on holiday. I will be showing a recorded show. If I don't have the new recorded show, then I will record an older show. And then 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks, I will have John Montalano as a guest in 2 weeks. That will be live right here at WLFEDB.com, YouTube, and Facebook. By the way, I always say that you can watch us on Facebook twice. You can go to the Southern Fried Paranormal, which is a page on my profile, Lynn Dorman profile. Very easy to find. Just look up Southern Fried Paranormal. It'll take you to that page. We're also on WLFEDB Radio Facebook page. And, of course, my profile, my channel, YouTube channel, it is there. Just look up Lynn Dorman. I've got to have the check mark so you can just put my name in there, and it will direct you to my channel. It's a very large channel. I've got a lot of add-ons to it. If you look into my, I forget what they call it, where you can put links to other YouTube movies and whatever, I got a nice collection of horror movies, interesting collection of sci-fi, both new and old movies. I've also got some a lot of YouTube videos regarding World War II. But the horror section is getting rather large. So if you're into horror movies, I've got a lot of horror movies that are linked to my YouTube channel. And their YouTube, so YouTube allows that, where you can share the links to other channels and movies, etc. Very impressive group of horror movies. There's 2 or 3 people posting horror movies free on YouTube. And so check it out. Go to my channel and get you started in that. You get started down that rabbit hole with all the videos I have and the different companies that post in horror movies. You can go down a horror movie rabbit hole really fast. I'm warning you. All right, let's get out of here. Just remember, the paranormal never sleeps. Bones, take us home. Get us out of here. Play, please, the outro. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to tune in to next week as once again we journey way down south into Bayou Country for another heaping portion of Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman and Bones. Make sure to like, share, and follow. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Broadhead Manor welcomes Sam Beltrusis to the Moonbow Metaphysical Summer Expo and After Hours Investigation only at Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin. Saturday, July 20th from 10 a.m. to midnight. Author and clairvoyant Sam Beltrusis has been seen on The Curse of Lizzie Borden, Fright Club, House in Between Two, and Paranormal Night Shift, and many more. He's the author of Fueled by Fear, Related to Evil, and many more great books. Investigation tickets are $60 per person. Email jdkeller26@hotmail.com to get yours today.